what you come aboard this team with what kind of expectations, and what's your feel for the vibe that's put together this off season?
Yeah, well, like I've said before, I mean, with my road, my path, here in the major leagues, I mean, I'm scarred, deep to where, you got to set your goals high, and it's not really setting the goals high. It's almost expected, I mean, I've been in the World Series with a, $41 or $42 million payroll in 08, won the division with the Reds and, so-called rebuilding year. 2012 Oakland A's, we can't forget about that year, and then, in Boston. So, at the same time, I don't think I could, look at Bobby Cox, walking around and be like, hey, Bobby, we're trying to go 500, what do you think about that? I mean, it's just not going to work, Obviously, it's pretty easy, to, pick the highest payrolls, throughout the game. Those guys are going to win. It's pretty easy. Hasn't happened in a while. But with that being said, I mean, I'm here to win, and I'm here to win it all, and that's where I'm at.
You've certainly played with a lot of guys and against a lot of guys in this clubhouse. Does it make that transition even easier for you, though?
Yeah, I mean, I don't really want to say I'm a nomad at this point, but I bounce around probably more than the average Joe. But back in the NL, it's really, I haven't been here since 11. It's not too long ago, but every year seems like a long time for me. So back in the NL, I was here for a little bit in 11, Washington in the division, but circling all the way back around, 2003. This is my Double-A part, with the Orlando Rays, I guess, way back then. So yeah, it's a big circle there.
From that perspective, it had to feel a little bit different driving in here today. I mean, I know you came back for a couple games series with the Rays, but
yeah, this was a fun place to play. It was again 2003, so it was my call-up year too, my first call-up. We had a good team. Learned a lot. And the travel. In this league that was here was tough, but yeah, I mean, things are starting to become a complete circle.
What about, speaking of complete circle, more than a decade ago, BJ Upton, you and him in this clubhouse together?
Yeah.
Double-A.
Yeah. I mean, you play this game long enough here, you're definitely gonna start circling around. I mean, we're teammates again, but in different uniforms. It's his third year here. My first year. Last time we were teammates, they're handing out a bunch of trophies. Back in 2008, however you want to say it, shocked the world. I mean, again, like I mentioned, the World Series. A guy had a heck of a postseason run, heck of a year. So that's how I remember BJ as a teammate. Obviously, things haven't really, gone that way the past couple years, but, transition's tough, We've seen a lot of guys, struggle with transition. But the talent's there. We're just it's in there. We're just gonna scratch the surface, and I want him on my team. I'm happy to be here. It definitely wasn't like negotiating any different way. BJ center fielder. He's had a bad couple years. I mean, can't hide that talent.
Right.
Can't hide it. So I'm excited to be next to him right now, and then next to him in the outfield.
Last time you guys were teammates, you were calling him BJ. Is that weird now, learning to call him Melvin?
Well, it's actually funny. We used to call him Melvin to get under his skin, So I was thinking if he goes to his, birth name, maybe I'll go by one of my nicknames. We could just do a complete swap like that. But
what are some of your nicknames?
Yeah, it's tough with the microphone. But I tell you what, that coming out, I'm more concerned, about the name, across his chest, and that's the same one as mine, So, regardless, what he's called or what he's going by, totally irrelevant, tell you the truth. Might help him out, might not tell you guys, but, clean slate, never hurts. But, name across chest, the Atlanta Braves, that's what we're going to be sharing, and that's, what we'll have in common, and, we'll do names, nameplates, hopefully in the playoffs.
You said you're a guy that doesn't put up with 500. How will that show up in this locker room and kind of your leadership?
Yeah, I mean, I think if that book could be written, it probably would already have been written, and it's not, therefore it's it's different every year. I mean, starting from today on, I mean, if these spring training games didn't count, we wouldn't play them. It's pretty simple. I mean, I could stay at home with my family in Scottsdale and go down to the putt putt and throw some tokens in the fast pitch and say I'm ready. I mean, these games count. And we got to play like they count. And there's a a purpose every time you throw your uniform on. Especially in spring training. And start being accountable and having guys accountable, and then just create a winning atmosphere right here.
We're 6 weeks from opening day, so there's plenty of